Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited because we have with us Daron Timeless Thomas Swann here in the studio audience today. How are you, Daron?
Great morning, Sister Kim. I'm doing better than some, worse than others. But other than that, I'm good.
Well,
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great as well. And I'm excited about our conversation because it's going to take probably a lot of different twists and turns throughout this hour. And I'm excited that you all are in your virtual seats already grabbing them. I can see you all getting in your seats. Let us know where you're visiting in from and share this broadcast with people. Let them know that we're talking today about a very sensitive topic, some things to do with jail. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. And Daron is going to be here to educate us on that today.
I am.
What made you want to be here on the Kim Jacobs Show? Tell me, because we've had some back office talk, but let's talk about it.
So, I like alignment, and in some organic way, your advertisement came across my timeline on Facebook, which is one of my main platforms. I'm very selective and I like to deal with exclusiveness. So when a door closes, I don't really go bang on it. And I think that's what kind of happened earlier with me trying to stream and all this and all that there. However, I do know the power of sharing, and I'm a marketing genius, and I will make sure that everyone gets it. Unfortunately, only this particular broadcast will only be privy to those who are here live in the live form, but everybody will get it. I'll make sure of that. Well, what made me want to be on the show? The organic connection that me and you made. I didn't want to risk missing that window of growth. After evaluating you and assessing you and gauging your energy, I said, sis could either only grow me, or she knows someone who can grow me, or we can grow each other. I knew it was a situation where iron was going to sharp iron, and I wasn't going to take a chance at doing any other thing with my time and space than connect with the Kim Jacobs Show. I wasn't going to risk not connecting with you, and so that's how I got here.
Wow. Well, I'm really grateful that you came here, and wow, that's impressive. So let me introduce you to everyone, because
Please.
You have also a very impressive bio here as well. Daron Swann is a dynamic individual who wears a lot of different hats, and he's a visionary director of the esteemed Timeless Thomas Company. Beyond his role as a director, he's emerged as a multifaceted force, an entrepreneur, a seasoned producer, a fervent promoter, and inspiring public speaker, and a dedicated mentor and publisher. I'm not going to go through everything in the bio because he's going to share some of his backstory, and it is nothing short of riveting. And I think that everyone needs to grab your roller coaster seatbelt and get ready for a wonderful ride. So Daron, tell us, Daron, who you are and kind of more about your backstory and what made you become who you are today.
Well, I'll give you guys a very brief backstory, but my past does not need me. My future needs me. So I like to start with the noun and move forward. But however, yes, for introductory sake, I'm a Black man in America, and I grew up in this Black skin and experienced the barriers and shortcomings that come with being that. And over the years and after the tests and overcoming the adversities and finding ways and learning and growing and asking and studying and going into new rooms humbly and admitting that, hey, I don't know everything. After learning more, I found out that I was an expert. And I found out that I was an expert. That's why if you look at my profile on my social media pages, you'll see it reads, I'm an expert at being an expert. Because a lot of times we have to define ourselves. If we allow other people to define us, it's like when you give people the power to feed you, then you also give them the power to starve you. So I don't allow people to define me. I define me. And in this new world order, in this new millennium, the way things are going, it's not enough to write and say your own narrative. That's applesauce, but I'm at apples at this point in my life. We have to live the narrative. I'm a mentor, but you don't have to call me that. You can see it. You can watch my smoke. You can watch my actions. You can see the impact I have on people that I minister to. That's the mentorship. That's the ministry. So I don't need the title, but I do have a title, and I'd like to go into that a little bit. My title is the solutionary, because I have this gift. I have this magical gift. If anybody taps into their self deep enough, you'll find your organic gifts given to you by the Lord himself. And I have this gift. I have this ability to see through the mist. I have this ability to automatically see a problem, identify it. In some kind of way, I get this ancestral solution that can work if it's implemented with the correct resources and the right people wanting it to happen. So I have that ability, and I can do that in all kind of scenarios. I can do it in a social setting. I can do it in a criminal justice setting. I can do it in a parenting setting. I can do it in an addiction setting. I can do it in any setting. It's just a gift that I have. So I've tapped into my magic, and since then I've grown and I'm great, and I like to share my greatness. And my podcast is called Back to Greatness. I like to take average people that are only averages because somebody told them, look, your elevator stops here, buddy. And somebody that was up here told them that, but their elevator could go a little higher if they learned a little more just about themselves and their abilities. But anyway, so I'm getting to this is what you asked me about. You said, give us a backstory. I used to say, unfortunately, I was in prison before and I was in jail, but actually now it's fortunately, because in the 13 years that I did, just through being distracted and making mistakes and not knowing the correct things when I should have learned the laws that govern the land, I was listening to music and running around with women. So I didn't know the right stuff. And of course it was by design, but I don't point any fingers. That's another thing. I'm very accountable, and I teach people to be accountable, because once you accept and don't blame, you can really grow. My whole thing now is growth. Okay, my thing is growth. I don't like to not grow, and I don't like people that interact with me to not grow, because I get right to it. It all boils down to two things, right and wrong. So it all boils down to two things. You're either distracted or you're not. When I found out that you were the balance doctor, I was like, oh man, we're going to have an excellent dialogue, because that's what I base my life on: polarity, up, down, fat, skinny, black, white, rich, poor, without the negative, right? And the positive. We can't even start a battery without darkness. How would we know light? Balance doctor.
It's impossible. Let me interject for a second, because everything you've said, it sounds almost like we're twins, even though we are completely different, obviously. But the thing is, I love being able to offer this platform for that reason alone, because when you talk about being a solution provider, you realize that there are real life issues out here that people are going through. And then you're looking to say, okay, this is whatever way your source is that's revealing to you, this is going to be a solution for this person. And it's coming through you to get it to them as a solution. I consider myself a solution provider as well. And some things I might not be the expert in, but I do know that this is a solution for your life and your circumstances and your situation. But focus on it and make it happen, and you're going to have a positive outcome and see a result. So everything you're saying, I agree with wholeheartedly. And I'm so glad that you're here to share your journey. So you see greatness in people, and you have the Back to Greatness podcast. And so when you look at a person, you don't see them for where they may be. You see them for where they can be. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, both. I see them where they're at, because that's where I have to meet them at. I have to meet you where you are. You know, saving lives is a business, but when you're genuine and you're not looking for anything in return, see, I got so much to tell you, but just know that money follows ministry. As long as I'm doing the work, everything else comes. So I got to meet you where you're at, and where you're at is not where he or she is at. So it's an individualized solution. Mm-hmm. And you're the solution provider. I'm the solutionary. Our energy power, those people are going to get saved today on this broadcast. People are going to grow. People are going to expand. We're going to transform lives. People are going to get empowered because, okay, I see your face. I've been studying you too, Kim. I've been studying you. And the sister that you had on yesterday, she had the big, beautiful hat on with the MS situation. Yes. And I was watching. I've been following you. I put my whole team on you, so everybody's looking and paying attention to how great you are and the work that you're doing in the community. Because look, I meant to tell you. So I raised you and evolved you to all these great big titles that I found out that you have. So you're an expert at being a woman. You're an expert at being a Black woman. You're an expert at being a Black woman in America. You're an expert parent. You're an expert mom. You do so much. You're just a gigantic expert. And I'm like, wow, Timeless Thomas is going to engage the expert. Like, you have all these expertise even before the talk show. You've been an expert. You're an expert in investing in yourself. You're an expert at providing opportunities for others. So me and you together, it's just going to be a whole big thing. So can we get to the book?
Okay. After the commercial break, y'all don't be playing.
After the break.
See, this is what happens, y'all, and especially the team and everybody that's out there. When you're interviewing another talk show, podcast host, they're like, okay, this is what we want to talk about during this hour. I'm getting to the meat of the matter, which is this. And all of you all that tuned in for this reason, you're going to be hearing, and it's countries that's watching this as well. So just so you know, audio podcast listeners are listening on their devices as well. So right after this commercial break, we're going to start right with tell them the book. Let's go ahead and pop it up because I know you're ready. You ready?
101 things you should know about jail. There you go. 101 things you should know about jail. Now, here's the kicker. The bonus chapter, 50 questions you should ask anyone returning from prison. Talk to you after the break.
So right after this break, we'll be right back. Okay, take it away, Mackenzie. This is good.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented. And I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Average. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
And without any further ado, we're going to hear from Daron about the 101 things that you need to know about jail. What made you write the book? Can you tell us that first before you just deep dive into it?
I will, as soon as I acknowledge the fact that if you're hurt or injured, that you need to talk to who? Hunter and Average? Is that where you can go if you're hurt or injured?
Hunter Average Law Firm. Let's go back. This is one of our.
I like that commercial. That was dope because people do get hurt and they do get injured. And we do need to know where to go. And sometimes we want to shop black unapologetically. But anyway, that's another story.
Well, please make sure you call
the book.
Let me say this. Call 704-457-5000 if you're in the Alabama area, Richmond, Virginia area, or in the Carolinas, in any part of the Carolinas. If you have wrongful death of a loved one, or you're dealing with workers' compensation or a disability claim, even if you've been denied before, reach out to Hunter Average Law Firm and let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, go.
What was the number again, though, Kim, for the people in the back? What was that number?
704-457-5000. 704-457-5000. All right.
Very good. Very good. The book. So this book is amazing. This book. So we'll get right into it. So I wrote the book, obviously, through lived experience, obviously. And like I say, I did 13 years. And I did it on the installment plan. I did 2 years first, right? Then I did 5 years. Then I did 6 years. And on that last 6, I was in my 30s, and I started getting older, and I started to grow up mentally and emotionally and otherwise. But I really started to grow. I was tired of doing the same things and expecting a different result and just ending up in those type of places where you're extracted from everything you know and love. And
Yes.
anyway, so like I told you, I have these gifts. I have the ability to find solutions in any situation. I have the ability to see what's wrong. I have this diagnostic ability, spiritually and otherwise, socially. I just have this ability. So while everybody else, not everybody, I mean, I can't say what was inside everybody's head, but while 90% of the people were lifting weight and reading books and writing letters and doing jail things, right? I was acutely, intentionally studying human behavior. I was being very psychological, very scientific. And I said, why are human beings participating in recidivism voluntarily? Why would someone volunteer to leave their wife and kids, knowing like you're grown and you're about to make a decision on purpose, knowing the results and consequences? Why?
That's good.
Is the question that needs to be answered here, you know? And so I ended up writing the book, right?
Amazing.
And I was still at a certain age. I was in my 30s. So I wrote the book really for capital gain. I was kind of upset, and, you know, obviously we talk about polarity. I wanted a little bit of justice. Let's balance out this thing. Where's my justice in this whole thing? Guys railroaded me, yada, yada, yada. I wasn't all the way taking full accountability. I said, I need some money for this. I knew I didn't have the capital to build a private prison or invest in their commissary racket. But I said, I'll write a book. And I said, as long as life goes on, there will be jail. And I'll make a fancy title with a fancy cover and people will buy the book. This was initially, I wrote it for capital gains. I said, I did enough blood, sweat, and tears and years. I need some money for this thing.
Okay, let me put that back up, because I want people to see this throughout the broadcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they need to see it. Oh, yeah. So initially, Kim, that's why I wrote the book. However, right, through reviews, right, once people read the book, once I got on a few shows and podcasts, and once I spoke about it a little bit, and I got the reviews from readers, guess what I found out, Kim?
What?
I found out that the book was actually helping people. I mean, my first review was from someone that's not from our community, not from our population. And that's when I knew. 70-year-old white woman. She told me, she said, hey, this is the one. She gave me all this, what I should have had anyway. Well, anyway, and so that made me know that the demographic wasn't limited. That made me know that I could expand my audience and my marketing scheme. Well, the book became a movement. No, excuse me. It became a ministry. It became a ministry at this point. So we went from.
This is while you were in jail. This was while you were in jail.
No. This is when I come home. I didn't write the book till 10 years later after I came home.
Oh, okay. Because that's important to know. So everybody.
It is important to know, because I had to do it in alignment with the Lord. The Lord had to make it right. I had to, and the funny thing about I had so many opportunities to publish it, self-publish it, whatever I wanted to do, but the Lord had to make it work on His time. See, we got a few different timelines here. We have our timeline. We have, you're a polarity buff like me. We have the expectation timeline, right? Which is directly in proportion to the disappointment timeline. We got so many timelines, but for this task, mission, and job and responsibility and assignment, I had to be on God's time.
That's right. So
it became a ministry, and so it was growing. The book and the word became life. It was growing, and it was becoming more genuine, because as I was speaking with women's groups, because the bonus chapter, the title of the book is 101 Things You Should Know About Jail.
Yes. But
the bonus chapter is 50 questions you should ask anyone returning from prison. Now, mind you, a newsy person, doesn't even ask 50 questions. Okay. So when women have read these questions, they said, Timeless, the bonus chapter alone is worth the price of the book. Maybe you should make the bonus chapter a book all by itself.
A book in itself, right? I agree.
They said those questions are not just for someone return for print. Those are 50 solid questions. They're sturdy. So that empowered me. I started believing, here's women. They look like my sister, my mother, my daughter. I'm like, these women are telling me that I did it right. And so with that fueling me and pushing me, like, you're great, you're Kim Jacobs. I had a lot of Kim Jacobs saying, hey, buddy, you're going the right way. Right. That is empowering. That's different from a homie, a homeboy, a brother from another. That's a different thing when Big Sis tells you, hey, keep going.
Okay.
When Mother Earth co-signs me.
So these women were inspiring you and pouring into you, and that took your belief level to a whole different level, because you were thinking you were just going to be educating people about, hey, this is what y'all need to know behind the scenes that you maybe don't know.
And mind you, 90% of them, I never met them in real life. This was all organic online connections. Because let me give your audience a gift. I came bearing gifts. So as of today, this is for your audience. Take notes, write it down. Make sure you share this with your friends, family, and loved ones.
I always have my pen and stuff ready, y'all. I'm over here taking.
There you go. As of today, this is a gift.
Okay.
As of today, all of us, your whole audience, mine as well.
Right.
As of today, we have all survived 100% of our worst days. Come on, Kim.
Can you believe it? Somebody type that. Somebody type that in the comment section.
100% of our worst days. That means every lie, every slander, everything the devil ever tried to do, every truth. Every time that closet door swung open, we survived it. So we won. There's no, we're experts at survival. We're experts at overcoming adversity. We have an exclusive team here, and this is why whatever happened didn't allow me to stream. This had to be an in-house conversation first, because Kim, you got to remember, this is a beginning. This is the first for me and you. We have many to come after this, me and you. Yes. Our alignment is definitely an assignment. But let's get back to the book. So that was just a gift. I just wanted to give a gift while I'm here.
I didn't see anybody type it in the comment section. So listen, we have to just let me type it right quick, because a lot of people come back and watch. Let me just one more time.
Yeah. And I'm gonna stream it, and I'm gonna share it to my friends, fans, followers, and loved ones as well.
We have survived 100%
of our worst days.
Our worst days. Okay.
You want to give them one more underneath of that, real small? Yes, you can tell them that you can tell them your darkest hour is only 60 minutes.
Your darkest. Wow.
Come on, won't he do it? Kim, won't he do it? Your darkest hour is only 60 minutes. Yeah. So we can get through one of them minute by minute. But anyway, so look, Kim. Okay, so here's the book. 101 Things You Should Know About Jail. Now we're at ministry right now, right?
Yeah.
So it took, as it started moving and people started acquiring it, and groups and talks and chat rooms, and it ended up becoming a movement. I joined a couple of organizations. I ended up becoming a Smart Justice Ambassador for the ACLU. I got involved in all of these things that were aligned with my organic purpose. You know, it would, when it's not hard, when it doesn't feel like work, when it doesn't feel like a burden, that's when you know it's from God. This is your real gift. So when I started intentionally lining up with that kind of stuff. I don't want to twist your arm behind your back for you to see my vision. You're not my assignment.
That's right.
I gotta fight you. You're not my assignment. You know, those people, I don't dismiss them, but guess what I tell them, Kim? I tell them I'm going to continue to grow, and I'll meet you there. I'll meet you in growth.
Right. I love it. I love it. So you're not just sitting there waiting for somebody. You're actually saying, look, I have to keep moving forward because I'm on a mission for what God has assigned me to do. But I'm definitely stopping to say this is a way to pull you into greatness as well. But I'll see you on the other side if it takes too long for us to just connect some kind of way and make some things pop off. So I agree.
Beautiful. Yeah. So now the book is at movement now. So don't you know, right? Some COVID happened and all that. So I got a chance to sit still. Now it really turned up now because everybody's sitting still. I got everybody's attention. I can get a better review because now people have a little bit more time to get to know that part of themselves that they didn't even know existed until Timeless Thomas came along and hit that switch for you. So I connected with a coaching team actually, and I ended up partnering with. Let me give a shout out real quick to DNA coaching too, Lloyd Figueroa. I ended up partnering
shout
with
out to you, DNA. DNA what?
Yep. DNA coaching, yep. So Lloyd Figueroa and Rochester Capital, but that's another thing. Just a quick shout out because that's what we do. Real quick, while I'm doing shout out to my sponsors, Walt Chicken, and that's in Delaware. Yep, Walt's Chicken. We all eat it, and that's under OP Productions. But keeping it moving, right?
Yeah.
So the book took another life form. The book kept growing. Kim, don't you know the book kept growing? And see, bigger companies can recognize this. Amazon had no problem partnering with me. So
not at all.
I invested in myself, right? And I said, this book must be in all formats. We can't leave anybody out. And so I partnered with Audible and Amazon Prime and made the audio book. So now, even if you are visually impaired,
that's right.
If you're visually impaired, you're not left out. Or even if you're so millennial, because here's another thing too. We're going to get into that right after the book. But here's another thing too. We're in Jetson level, and a lot of us are still operating on Flintstone mentality. And that's the big communication break right there. We're a bunch of Flintstones trying to communicate with Jetsons, and there's a barrier. That's the disconnect. So right. I needed to make sure that this book was available on Kindle in case you want to read it on your little device. I needed to make sure it's an audio book if you must have the plugs in your ears and work out, or if you just never knew how to read a book. You were born in a digital world, and this is all you need to know. So then guess what, sis?
What?
Guess what, Miss Kim Jacobs?
Tell me.
The Lord spoke again. He said, Timeless, now I'm going to tell you the big secret. Who's that that's tagged?
Oh, yeah, this is Dr. Lotus Richey. She actually has a global broadcast as well. You definitely want to connect, and I'll connect.
Yeah, we will right after this. How you doing, Dr. Lotus Richey?
Yes, the Lotus Richey Ignites show. And she says she's worked in the prison system for 7 years. You must know that jail is no place for no person, period.
Well, me and her are going to have a dialogue after this. Hopefully we can connect and we can get the prison ministry going over there. So, but let me tell you what the Lord said to me.
Go ahead.
Right. This is how you know, like when people, have their whatever. No, the Lord directly. Because see, I know how to listen now. You know what I mean? I'm at a space and a place in my life where when the Lord speaks, first of all, I don't put a description on a blessing. I'm not trying to see what he looks like. I know he's not floating around in the sky. God got to come down and work through people. So I got to pay attention to people all of a sudden again. Anyway.
I agree with you. It's like, look, just however you want to use me, however you want to talk to me, and whatever form you're going to use for it to happen, I'm open because I'm your vessel. So whatever it is, it's just.
Watch this, Kim. Guess what God told me?
What? Go ahead.
After he because first he has to see how you're going to have too much is given, much is required. First, he has to see how I was going to handle, the book in all formats first. Yeah. He had to see how am I going to act now that it's an audio book, now that Amazon Prime, now these big companies, now that I got coaching staff. He had to see how I was going to act in this new space of growth.
How did you act?
The way I'm acting right now. with the way I'm acting right now, with love. I'm operating on the highest frequency. I send you the purple heart, not the red heart. We're operating from the higher polarities. But that's another story, Miss Kim Jacobs.
Okay.
The Lord whispered to me, just like he said he would come, like a thief in the night. It was late in the midnight hour. I had the sage burning. I'm praying, crying, and shaking. The Holy Ghost. It was a lot going on. And the Lord said to me, he said, Thomas, I'm going to let you in. He said, initially, I know you wrote it for capital gain. He said, but I wanted to make sure that you were more than that you could see past the monetary value or monetary opportunity or whatever. He wanted to make sure I wasn't being an opportunist. He wanted to make sure. So the Lord whispered to me, he said, Timeless, He said, the book's bigger than you'll ever know. And I said, well, God, come on, you're the God of God. You're the Lord of Lords. I know that. That's why I wrote it. He's like, no, it's bigger. He said, did you know that every single United States citizen has a jail story? I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, jail's a culture in America.
Wait. You dropping some knowledge up in here, Daron, that is different than I've ever heard before. Jail is a culture. It's not even behind the bars of some building. It's a culture, y'all, is what this man is getting ready to drop on us.
Well, and it's just not even, right? But we know that it exists, like in the minds, people are mentally incarcerated and all that. I'm talking still specifically physical jail, the building.
Oh, you are talking the physical building.
Oh, I definitely am. Every single United States citizen has a jail story. Every single United States citizen has been impacted directly or indirectly, either through lived experience, either whether it's through junk media and junk music or entertainment. There's jail all over the country.
Right. Okay.
And I don't care if you've never been, nobody in your household been, your sister's cousin that lives down south got raped and the dude that raped her went to jail. Everybody has a jail story. Your coworker's son got killed and the dude that killed him's in jail. Everybody has a jail story in America. You remember a time when they did Rodney King. Everybody has a jail story. And I said, and God said, there's your value. He said, there's your gift. He said, I waited till you got it. He said, I wanted to make sure you wasn't going to discriminate. He said, can the blind get the book? I said, yeah. He said, well, good. Then we can we can just minister to every blind institution. We can just do it in bulk. He said, but you gotta wait. I said, well, who am I waiting for? I tried everybody. This is why this wall's so big. I hollered at Master P. I hollered at a lot of people. I tried everybody. Rick Ross. And God didn't want that for me. God did not want that for me. This whole wall behind me, Black and Nobel, this whole wall behind me is filled with millionaires that I deal with and talk to. And nobody, not nobody, but it wasn't ready yet. God said, I gotta wait. And guess who he waited? Guess who he put in my path?
Who?
To take this, not just this book, but this experience, this ministry, this necessary information. Guess who he put in my path to take me to the next level so that we can prevent the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, we gotta stop the babies so that we can turn ex-offenders into returning citizens. Guess who he put in my path to transform and empower, for starters, America, and then it becomes global, because if you're gonna come to America where jail's a culture, you might want to read this book as soon as you leave the UN. But anyway, guess who he put in my path to grow me to the next level?
Who?
Kim Jacobs. Because I know you're connected to the right people who have love in their heart, who pray for people, who stand in the gap for those who can't. I'm watching you. You got people with MS and love doctors and all kind of stuff on your thing. I'm like, yo, this sister right here, if I tell my story on Kim's job, guess what? We're going to empower some people and get to $1. Anyway, that's another story.
Wow, that is a great story. And I'm glad to be used as a vehicle by God to even connect with you. And I do not take connections lightly. I don't want our paths to cross, because that means we're just passing in the day. But to connect and be able to stay connected, that's what I want God to do in this moment in time. So I'm excited about it. Very excited about it.
We're going to take a
commercial break. But before we take the commercial break, Daron, can you tell us what we're going to talk about when we come right back, since you also the host of the Back to Greatness podcast?
When we come back, we're going to discuss the communication barriers that exist between the Flintstones and the Jetsons. You know, we're older parents. We're going to talk about 37-year-old grandmoms and why Thanksgiving's gone, because they're ordering from Uber Eats. Yeah, they can't cook turkeys. Right. We're going to talk about that.
Yes. So right after this next commercial break, we're going to be talking about the communication barriers. That's really good. We'll be right back, everybody, right after this break.
All right.
That is our episode sponsor, which is vproducts.store, vproducts.store. Make sure you all check them out. They have infused mushroom coffee as well as black coffee, and I've been getting rave reviews from clients regarding that sponsor. So check them out and let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you. All right, talk to us about the communication barrier.
Well, there's a disconnect. I always use the analogy of the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and I always use certain analogies that I try to break it down plain where people can understand. Like the children of today, I get to the core of issues. This is why I'm the solutioner. I get right to the core. The core is miscommunication. The core is distraction. The core is decision making. When a child kills a child with a gun, right? Okay. We automatically want to go surface. Oh, that's a violence problem. Oh, that's a gun problem. No, nope, neither one. That's a parenting problem, and then that's a decision making problem. So we gotta attack that stuff. We're so distracted, not trying to grow. See, a lot of parents, right, feel like we've been there and done that. So when we have the 17-year-old, 16-year-old, the teenager, the juvenile delinquent, when we have the younger ones, our idea of meeting them where they are is going back to when we were that age. We're like, yeah, okay, I remember I was going through this when I was that. This ain't that. The world has changed. That's like I always say this, and this always hits home with people that really want to grow and learn and grow other people. That's like trying to explain to them why it's so good to have a tape deck, or why they should get a reel to reel. That is outdated. So are some of our teaching and parenting methods. They're outdated. If you're a parent and you don't know text abbreviations, you got more learning to do. So the student becomes the teacher. The only way to meet people where they're at is to get where they're at.
That's right.
Like you can't you got to get where they're at, and that's with respect to cultural humility. It happens all the time in our communities. We get these people, they come from out these offices, they come in our community, they assess what's going on, then they tell us what we need and give us what resources that they think we should have that'll fix our problems.
That's good.
That's like me telling that's like me teaching a course on teenage pregnancy. I can't. I'm not a teen and I'm not pregnant. I can't be an expert in that. I can't give input in that. But people do it all the time. And then they get mad when you don't understand their workshop. Then what they do is they'll diagnose you. Well, you must got ADD or something. What's wrong with you? Did you come from a violent home? They get crazy with their opinions of why you can't understand that they don't even know how to communicate with you. So anyway, that's something that we have to take seriously, because the youth is the future, period. Me and you are getting a little, we gotta pass the torch regardless if we let me tell you something.
Or not. Let
me share this with you and your audience of professionals and good listeners. Your children and mine, your grandchildren and mine are going to the future, and they're going to run the future. Now watch this. They're going to be the next doctors, lawyers, police, judges, nurses, right? Ambulance drivers.
That's right.
Or, excuse me a minute. Or, hold on, wait for it, Kim, this is big. Or they're going to be the next drug dealers, gang members, pill testers, inmates, or even worse. How about they're the next corpses? Like, it's that real. So where do you want your children to be in the future? Now, I always tell people, we can't save the whole world. Come on, let's just be realistic. We can't save the whole world. Now, like the concept I saw on your thing, it's one household at a time. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. This revolution is not going to be televised. We're not marching with picket signs. We're going to revise ourselves. We're going to revise ourselves. That's right. Each one teach one, each one reach one. So that's important to understand, that the youth is going to be the leaders of the new school, and it's up to us to guide them. But in order to guide them, we have to have listening sessions. Listening sessions involve no talking. Let them talk. I mean, when I talk, right, my ears are closer to my mouth than yours, so I'm listening to me too. But we have to listen to these babies. That way, we know their wants. Yeah. We know their potential needs, and we can meet them where they're at, because we know.
That's right.
So we can no longer meet somebody where they're at with our stuff.
So let's break this down. I know, and I understand. I already know what you're saying. So wherever they are as young adults, millennials, and they're trying to communicate their theories, we need to be able to sit and listen and understand. What are you thinking that's different than, because it's going to be different than what we think, because there's just age difference, moral differences, and
you have to come open. See, that's like, let's say they just came in town, you're picking them up from the bus station or the airport, right? And they got all their baggage, because this is what they're bringing. They're bringing baggage, they're bringing whatever.
So let's role play, because I'm a role play person.
No, I know you are. I saw you do it. But hold on, though. I gotta say this first before we start playing roles. So we get to the bus station to pick our child up, right? Mm-hmm. Who has this baggage. But our whole car is filled with bags all the way to the ceiling, the trunk, and everything. There's no room for their baggage, but we want to pick them up. Okay, come on, get in. No, we gotta leave our stuff.
I don't need to role play. That's what I'm actually role playing, is what you're doing right now. So go ahead and just say
Hold on, excuse me. Role play, sister. How dare me come on your show and tell you to hold on of a role play? Go ahead, role play.
No, what you're doing is the role play. So go ahead, just say it.
Well, no, that's just I just really wanted to, because now here's the thing. I told you when I think we were in the back room. I don't know if your audience heard. My past doesn't need me. My future needs me.
Right.
So I teach people to. Let me tell you something. Do you know that I deal with portals too? I told you I'm magical. I have this third eye tattooed on my head. People ask me all the time, and I tell them I'm not even going to explain to you because you're just too mortal to understand. But whatever. I find portals. They're presented to me like this here. This online thing is a portal. This is a portal to your audience. This is a portal to your alignment. This is a portal to your assignment. There's other portals. The imagination is the portal to wherever you want to go. Anywhere. You can sit there right there in the chair, do it real quick. Imagine that I'm driving a car and do it. It's a portal. So
yeah, I'm imagining I'm driving a Bentley.
We can't. Were you imagining?
I'm imagining that I'm driving a Bentley because I can have anything that I ask for.
God meant me to push the Bentley. You got it, Kim. You got it. How about you are a Bentley?
Oh,
how about you are a Bentley with the value that you bring and the platforms that you provide? Huh?
I said, is your third eye telling you that?
Yeah, it is. It is. You're bigger than a Bentley.
Of course, much bigger than a Bentley. I agree.
You're much. Did you know? Let me tell you something about you. Did you know that Bentleys don't advertise Rolls Royce? You know they don't have commercials. Either you can afford it or you can't. You're the Kimster. You are the Bentley. So anyway, so look, I want to say how important it is to not cut as much pain and trauma that kids have, mm-hmm. and even adults. It doesn't need to go to your future with you. That's like digging up all your third grade stuff and trying to take it when you move to your new house. You leave stuff behind. You gotta let go to grow. But so that's just what I wanted to say about communication, because I can go on and on for days and days about that. And I never even once reminded you guys where to get the good book. That's a culture here in America. Okay. So fortunately, you can just get it anywhere. They sell books online. If you're in the Philadelphia area, you obviously want to go to Black and Nobel. So on 422 South Street, you want to go there and get the book, or you can go to blackandnobel.com if you just have to be a couch potato, or you just want to observe the privy of ordering online, and you can do it like that. And then I like to send people to Amazon as well because they partnered with me. The audio version is available on Amazon on Audible, and that's Amazon Prime. If you have that app, I guess you can probably get it on there. If you have that account, you might even can listen to it for free on Audible, depending on how your account's set up. And the book is so very important. No, let me tell you now, the bonus chapter alone, 50 questions you should ask anyone returning from prison. Don't you want to know the mentality, the psychology? Don't you want to know the emotional status of the man behind you in the Walmart line that has the shaggy jeans on? Absolutely. How about that disgruntled fella at the red light? Wouldn't you just like to know what he's thinking before you flip him off? Get the book. It's so necessary.
I want you to open the book and share some of the things that would be just at least, even if it's not from the book because you just want them to get the book, but share some points that or rationales behind what are some thoughts.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. I ain't got to go in the book to tell you. I can tell you right now. One mistake, one false accusal, one truth, one misunderstanding, one lie, one cop having a bad day, one untrained cop or law enforcement officer for that matter. And we know that that can end us in jail. If you wear colored skin, then you could get Sandra Bland or George Floyd. We know that. That's the obvious. But how about this? How about your first cellmate has 17 years on push-ups? Uh-oh. Oh, boy, did he say that? Yeah, he said it. Your first cellmate could be a monster. Now, that changes the dynamic. You were just supposed to be home for dinner. Now you're caged with a savage beast. At minimum, you would want to know how to conduct yourself. And this book is A to Z. This goes from the back of the cop car all the way through the precinct, through the court proceedings, through the penitentiary. And then I had a nerve to be nice to you and give you a bonus chapter on reentry. I had a nerve to just cover everything. I didn't leave out anything. I said the book came out 10 years later, so I had a chance to revise it and do addendums and other big words.
That's good. And so this book is actually a conversation that you use. I was reading in your bio too that it's a bridge. It's almost like a bridging the gap between law enforcement, community members, people that have come out of jail. Talk to us about that as well. How it's
well, that's one of my solutions. That's me. That's the solutionary side of me. I have this vision that could work. I'm going to pilot it in my city, but for us to come along to get together as one, that starts with the listening session. We're always trying to come up with programs and resources and things. We shouldn't be afraid of law enforcement. You know, they should be just as much a part of the community as the local hospital, as the McDonald's. Everybody should get along and everybody should understand each other. And this way, we can weave out who just doesn't belong, who's just too defiant, who I really just don't want my daughter to bring home. I mean, we gave you the rules, you didn't want to do it, and hey, that's it. You know, if we could set that type of atmosphere of safety, it doesn't have to necessarily be wrapped around love, but if we just put safety first, and safety starts with communication, let us police us. Don't put someone, that's all back to cultural humility, and I do cultural humility workshops as well, but don't put people that are not from the community in the community to police you, because they don't understand. So now what we're doing, we're racking up a bunch of extra nonsense. People are getting charges and going to jail and getting killed for miscommunication. Had that been one of my own, he would say, "Hey, Tyrone, man, stop that foot. Your grandma them two doors up. Get out of here, man. If I put the cuffs on you, we could have understood and be like, all right, man, thanks, Officer Johnson," and kept it moving. You know, it wouldn't have pulled up like, "Sir, you're acting angry right now. Hold on, we have a situation. It's not a situation. We didn't even talk about it yet. How's it that situation?" And unfortunately, it used to go from bad to worse, Kim. Now it just goes from bad straight to hopeless. The phone call used to be in the Flintstone days. It used to be, "Well, Mrs. Smith, yeah, we have your son down here. Leroy's locked up and blah, 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 blah." Now the phone call sounds like this.
See, I would role play with you, but see.
Yeah. Now it sounds like this, Kim. Yeah, Mrs. Smith, we pulled your son over for a traffic stop, but he reached. We weren't sure what he was reaching for. It appeared to be a gun, and you're gonna have to come identify his body. That's a bad phone call. Now let's do the ripple effect. So now mother loses a son, and she's supposed to go to work the next day happy. She's gonna start doing bad in her job. 18 months later, she's on depression pills. She's addicted to them now. She gets fired. She's on some type of fixed income. Now she can't afford the bills for the lifestyle she created before you killed her. So it gets bad.
Everything you're saying is it's 100% on point, and nobody really gets a chance to deep dive into it until somebody like you gets used through this book to be able to have those necessary conversations. And so what you're saying should be something that should happen in Washington, D.C. It should be a formal discussion globally, actually, where people get an understanding of the different cultures that exist. Because everything you just said, growing up in the projects, for me anyway, that kind of conversation would be just a neighbor calling and saying, look, I got your boy down here. I done yanked him off the playground because at the end of the day, he ain't had no business being out while you were at work. And I saw him, so I'm calling you at work to let you know he out here, and stuff like that. That can bring some resolution, but then dinner can still happen with the family that evening.
It could do that. It could very well bring a lot of resolution, but it just depends, because it's easier to control chaos. So it depends on who got what agenda and how sincere they are about it. Right now, I know the country's working on gentrification, so they got to park 30, 40 fentanyl addicts in front of your house to bring the property value down, then they can get you out of there. And I try to tell people that you have to adjust. You still can't complain. It's happening. They've done it in cities. It's going on. So you can't complain. You can't say, well, man, they got to do something with these zombies in front of my house, not on my stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you what to do. You start talking to another realtor. They're not switching up. You have to, the 5 Ps. Everybody must implement the 5 Ps. Where's my best camera?
That's fine right there.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. I think Monique said it. If you stay prepared, you don't got to get prepared. We got to start adjusting to what is. We got to be realistic to the now. This is why I operate in real time. I was so glad to take the show at short notice. I saw the opportunity. I said, man, but because oh, forget it, Kim. Go ahead, because this is good. Do your thing, because I can go on for days and days, and then I'm gonna have to put my Cash App up there. I'm gonna give somebody an invoice. No, I'm just teasing. I'm not motivated like that. I'm not motivated like that. Money follows ministry. I allow the Spirit, because I don't want you to go in your wallet. I want you to go in your heart. I want you to go in your spirit. I want you to pray first and say, God, how much should I donate to the Kim Jacobs show? I did learn a lot. I don't want your wallet, because if you go in your wallet, it's short. You might say, well, tally it up. See what you got left, and then see what you learned. See how I grew you and your grandkids. Say, you know what? She had Thomas on there. What's next for the Kim Jacobs show? We got to support her. We got to get behind her. We have to. Because now you're convicted spiritually. And then you want to go give the weight. As soon as you buy that dollar beer, as soon as you do something you ain't supposed to do, smoke that drug, and you're going to think about that broadcast you saw and say, damn, you know what, Thomas was right. We got to keep Sister Kim on air. We have to.
Put my whole out. I know one thing, the Lord knows what we stand in the need of too. So I put my information down.
You're supposed to. It's your show. I need you. You think my sponsors ain't getting their shout out? It's important. See, that's another thing too. We have to support each other and get used to that. That has to be the new norm. We're so used to allowing other people's narrative to dictate our every action. We work all week, then we take to the mall, give it right back to them. We have to start keeping the black dollar in the community. And it really has no color, because I'm from the human race. I don't care what color you are. I connect with your spirit, with your soul. As long as I put truth out there, I can reach my audience. I deal with a truth audience. It doesn't come with a gender. It doesn't come with a creed. I reach the people who are in an alignment with the truth, the people who are in alignment with growth, the people who are alignment with doing the next best thing when nobody's looking. That's the only people I want. It's like, you ever see these people with 50,000 TikTok followers and all that kind of stuff? Shout out to TikTok, but usually that's based on buffoonery. I'm cool with an organic 2,000 or 3,000 that I know, that I connect with. I'm in their inbox. We're saying good morning and it's genuine. We're doing the prayer hand sincerely. I'm cool with a genuine organic flow, and let the rest take off, because I got the biggest thing going in America right now. All I need is for one guy to say, you know what? Let's green light what he's saying. We got the resources. Let's get that book to every blind institution. Let's get it to every juvenile center and stop the school to prison pipeline. Let's get this book in the hands of everybody in every halfway house coming out of jail, so they can not be an ex-offender. They can be a returning citizen and add value to their life, to their family, to their community. Let's get the worth and the value out of people. Yeah.
My mom, I need somebody to that book. My mom like, give me the book. Give me the book. My mom.
It's like, important. It's important in bulk. This needs to be present on your coffee table. We're in 2000, headed to 24. I'm not even taking my 2023 to 2024 with me.
That's right.
We got to meet people where they are now. Jails are cultured now. You can go through your phone and see jail all in there. Whose son went to jail? Who you can see it. This book needs to be around when they come in the house and pick it up, like the old magazines used to be, the Jet and the Ebony. This is another Jet and Ebony. A black man did this. This is a book. This needs to be in a whole. And it needs to be in every black household, but it really needs to be in every American household. We just discussed, because again, it's not based on, this can happen to anybody, especially with the culture vultures and people trying to identify with the way we move and coming in, getting stuck on some of the same drugs or listening to some of the same music, facing some of the same disparities.
So what do you think is the biggest thing when people are transitioning from jail to their homes? Any advice on how people should be welcomed from your perspective and handled?
Well, once again, it has to do with cultural humility. That's what this bonus chapter is for, right? But you got to remember, if a person does a significant amount of time, they just came from a different world. They just came from total bondage. This is where all the people that got kicked out of society are, from the guy that went to jail in the 70s to the dude that went last week. And then now they're in your living room. I don't care if it's your son, grandson, or neighbor. This is a different person. They just had a serious experience, very traumatic. Now, people mask it different than others. Oh, he's doing well. He's been home a year. He works at the supermarket, and he's nice and still got his waves in his hair and all that stuff for now. Till he gets in a toxic relationship, because maybe he was never even taught how to be in a relationship. Till they hurried up and made a baby in the first 6 months. That was never the ancestral way. They never dated, courted, got engaged, and then did the wedding, and then made sure they were financially stable, and then made the baby. They never took the ancestral blueprint. They were already on the next talk show talking about who's the baby daddy. From moving away from the ancestral blueprint, we're so far away from everything we're so distracted. We're so
distracted. Somebody type that. So distracted.
We're so distracted. The only advice I have given somebody's coming home from jail is get this book quick. Get this book quick, because see, that's how you get out in front of things. It's like if you relapse and take that drink, go to a meeting quick. Yeah. Call your sponsor quick. Get on a program quick. Tell somebody quick. Don't wait until you end up getting too drunk 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, and then crash your car and kill some humans on a manslaughter DUI. Don't wait that far. Get in front of it. This is, if you know you got an incarcerated loved one, now let me convict you there too. You know you do have an incarcerated loved one, friend, family, cousin, whatever, right? Neighbor, employee, whatever. And you know that your ministry stopped here. You know you haven't reached out to them. You know you haven't wrote them any messages because their ignorance is not an excuse. You know you haven't checked on their elderly grandparents. You know you haven't checked on your own elderly grandparents. You ain't been to the old folks home none this year. You have no old folks ministry. Not saying you, but we're distracted.
No, not me. I go and volunteer at nursing homes and stuff.
No. I have a senior ministry as well, but I'm not saying you, because me and you are aligned. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of stuff in common, but people are distracted. Mm-hmm. And this is where, let me give you another solution. I am the solutionary. This is where a self-inventory will raise you to transformation. So what is a self-inventory, timeless times? Well, I'll tell you. It's when you inventory yourself, just what doesn't need to go to your future with you. It's the same like inventorying your cabinet. I need more spaghetti sauce, more tuna fish. No, I don't need no more. Listen, I don't need to take anger into my future. I don't need to take laziness into my future. You know what? I used to be a chatty Cathy. I'm not taking that into my future. In fact, I'm going to delete all my friends I used to chatty with. I'm blocking all of them. You got to get in front. You have to inventory yourself. If you're still using behaviors that don't serve you, if you're still thinking about things that won't grow you, come on. Role play with me. Can we sit there and tag in? Come on. What don't need to go to people's future? If you're still being petty, if you're still holding on to good sacred information and you're not even planning on passing it off at least to one person, if you have a trade and you're such and such an age and you haven't taught your grandkids how to do it yet, like, what are you waiting for?
That's good.
We get one life. Let me give you another gift. Go ahead and clap. We can clap together.
Oh yeah,
Let me give you another.
my
Can I
hands
give the
'cause I feel
audience
like
a
I'm in
gift?
church. I feel like I'm in church, but I need to take
We
this one more
two or more gathered. This is our church. This is our church.
That's right.
You know, the
Where
devil's
two or
not
more
afraid.
gathered, we are having some level of.
Yeah, the devil's not
ourselves
afraid of the people in the church, Kim. Let me tell you that. The devil's not afraid of the people in the church. The devil's afraid. The devil's afraid of the people who are the church.
Right. That's the walking Bibles for real, not just somebody saying that they are in the church in the building.
We're the live living example. Yeah. So
let me take I have to take because I have sponsors too. So I just need to say
take the break. Yeah, we got to shout the sponsors out. We only got a few minutes. How much time we got?
Well, you know what? We had started a few minutes with the back office stuff, so I'm going to give about 10 more minutes. We'll go, and then we'll.
Okay. All right. I just gotta have it on my clock.
I need to acknowledge the sponsor.
How you guys doing? My name is Ivan Jacobs. I'm a personal trainer for Major PT. I'm twice certified and have been training for the last 3 years. I've lost over 100 pounds myself, going from this right here to this. And our training styles are pretty flexible. We train people online and home, or even meet up at the gym to train there. We've trained both men and women and clients of all ages. So we're pretty flexible, so there's no excuses. And of course, I'm excited to work with all you guys. If you're interested, please click the link below and let's get this thing rolling. Of course, here are some testimonials for you guys to see as well. Have a great rest of your day and see you soon.
Hey, my name's Tyler. I just wanted to write this review on Ivan. I got a chance to work with him for a while. He put a plan together for me and we worked through it, and I saw really, really great results. So I wanted to say thank you to him, and I would highly recommend him to anyone else that was looking for a trainer that's on time, sets things up, walks you through it, provides the right amount of encouragement, but not too much, and is really willing to push you if you want to push yourself.
Thank you, Ivan. You are an amazing coach, very knowledgeable personal trainer I ever had. You helped me achieve my sports-related goals pretty easily. I like the way you customize the exercises to fit to my level, fit to my ability to get my goals reached. I thoroughly enjoyed working with you. I'm really glad I had a coach like you.
Oh, there we go. So easy. Great.
All right. All right. So that's today's episode sponsor, majorpt.com. So you can check him out. All right. So talk to us more.
In closing, Ms. Kim Jacobs, I want to pitch this book and on levels. So it's one of those type of situations where everyone can join in on it, whether you want to sell the book, you know what I mean? I offer it, that program as well. Whether you're bigger than me and you have the resources to see my vision and say, you know what? I see the whole program. We'll go on tour. We'll speak to all the kids and all the world and whatever. And like I say, the book is, see, I invested in myself. So that's how I'll attract other investors. They see I'm all in. I got other companies partnering with me, right. And to because it's information. And this is the information age. And that's how I win with my little 10 to 15 second reels. Again, I'm a expert at human behavior. So I understand, overstand, and understand that millennials and Generation X,
right?
Unfortunately, Generation Z, unfortunately, were born. Watch this, I'm about to get deep. They were born without an attention span. See, they were subject to a digital warfare. You talk about the unseen. These are reasons to don the armor of God. They were born without an attention span. That's like being born without a limb. That's like being born with one arm. Do you know the disadvantages that you have at that? They don't have an attention span. This is why when you see them, they're buried in their device, right? And so I found a way to even reach them. I found a way to reach them with my 15-second reels. I got that's all in meeting them where they're at. You're on TikTok, I'll see you there. You're on Instagram, I'm on my way. You're on Facebook, and I got to get you quick because I'm up against the rest of the world. The whole world is on here. I'm up against it. As soon as you click off, there's somebody on there fighting. There's somebody on there naked stripping. There's something else that you like. You just ordered some sneakers that came across your algorithm, the new kind that they got, that coupon. I'm up against everything. So I got to say what I got to say real quick and make it impactful. The elevator spill's dumbed all the way down to 7 seconds. You got to get it in there. But I understand that. So,
well, your reel was great, by the way. Your reel was great. Your reel was great.
So let me tell you how great it was. You met me halfway. I went and got the information to be great with you. We coexisted in greatness. Those were your pictures. That's what you had up. And all I did was highlight it and make sure that the world knows how great you are. Because see, let me tell you, a real friend has your back behind your back. I can fellowship with you in friendship because it's not physical. This is an assignment. Our alignment has become an assignment. So as quick as you made the flyer, I had to make the commercial. I had to make it do what God told me to make it do. I put 110% in that, and we pushed it. And it's okay. But thank you for because remember also too, Kim, that we are a reflection of each other. The Bible says it. You reap what you sow. I think the Indians call it karma. You only can get out what you put in. You sowed a seed. And this is a portion of your harvest. I'm just fruits of your labor manifested in the flesh. This is what you put out there. Like energy attracts. This is human magnetism 101. This is the law of attraction 101 right here in front of the world. Because me and you, we don't even got a weekend. We don't even got 4 days in. I met you like 72 hours ago, and already we're performing greatness together. Can you imagine the magic that we would make if we actually prepared and hooked it up and did the stuff?
Absolutely.
The bells and the whistles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was Johnny on the spot. This is spontaneity, says the Lord.
Listen, there are some comments that came in. I want to make sure we address too. We had a come, Ms. Jones. So we are so sorry. Let me see. We must co-create and share the alignment and shine the light on the greatness of those we are blessed to work with. Dr. Lotus Boucher said.
I say she's right. I see where she got her doctrine. She came in being accurate.
Oh yeah, and then another comment was cultural civility is my program. When you understand the culture from a non-judgmental mindset, you can better serve, and that's just universally is what she's sharing. These are great comments. Thank you, Dr. Boucher.
They're dynamic comments.
Yeah,
I'm honored that she's on there.
She is brilliant mastermind. And what she does. Brandy is on. She says she's going to watch it from the beginning. Thank you so much for tuning in, Brandy. And we have to listen to what is needed and create systems that serve as well. And my mom said, Kim, get that book for me personally. So my mom, you got the book coming for you in whatever format you want it. I teach reconnection for military personnel, and just like prisoners, I have helped teach re-entry into society. It is a must. Okay. Lots of great comments, you all in the studio audience. Stay connected. I want you all to stay connected because this man has a powerful journey and story to share, but also solutions. I can hear so many solutions in today's conversation already. So I can only imagine if you continue to come back, and we welcome you to do that. You can share tips. We have these things called Freestyle Friday, and we have experts that come on and share like 5-7 minute tips of specific nuggets from whatever component. And I'd love for you to come and be one of our Freestyle Friday experts if you'd like to do that. And you can come back and just share frequently different tips on whatever pocket of jail experiences, which according to this statistic is in 2023 is 1.68 million people that were incarcerated in the United States alone. And in China, there's the only other place that they surpassed it at this point was 1.69 million. And that came from Statista. So a lot of people are experiencing jail time. And like you said, everybody in the world, we've been impacted some kind of way, whether we've personally been in jail or we know somebody that's in jail or somebody going to jail or somebody that died and the other person's in jail. Everybody is impacted according to what
or junk media entertainment.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Closing comment. I know it's about the book, so tell us a closing comment.
Actually, it's not. The closing comment, I said enough about the book. You guys know that you can get it anywhere online. I prefer Amazon or blackandnobel.com, but wherever you want to get it, you can get it. It's available.
Let me put that up one more time because I want people to see the image. When you go to any of these sources, this is what you're looking for. 101 things you should know about jail. There are 50 bonus questions in there that you should ask anyone that's returning home from prison. And you have to have this in your library. Okay, go ahead.
So in closing, I would like you guys to follow me. I'm on Facebook as Daron Swann. You'll see Timeless Thomas in parentheses. Instagram, I'm Timeless Thomas. YouTube, I'm Timeless Thomas. But each time I speak, there's solutions. It's a ministry in it. So I teach teachers. You know what I mean? I go to colleges and I teach criminal justice. I do workshops. You know what I'm saying? People listen to me. And because I'm unapologetic and I know I'm not fit for every space, but if your desire is to grow, if your desire is to connect with your the younger person in your world, if your desire is to know the most direct way that you can be an influence and an impact and how you can empower directly, because I'm anti-distraction. You know, ignorance is no excuse. You know, if you want to learn how to live a life without making excuses and you can get more things done. I teach people how to even buy their time back. Time is the only thing that we can't get back. And I even teach people how you can get the most for your 24 hours in a day. You know, so and that's just, I'll give you that too. I'll come back Friday and give you that. Let me write that down. That I'll remind you, Timeless Thomas, right, who doesn't conform to regular time. I don't even wear a watch, but Timeless Thomas will not be measured by linear time. But Timeless Thomas is just existing. I'm just here in the now. I will be teaching and telling people how you can actually buy your time back. So do you work 8 hours and then come home and watch a little TV, hang out with the kids, go grocery shopping? When did you have time for yourself? So I'll tell you how to actually buy some of your own time back. You don't got to wait till you retire. I got your back.
Okay,
with that,
y'all ready for that?
Thank you so much.
Friday?
Thank you so much, Ms. Kim Jacobs, my sister.
Timeless Thomas is going to tell you how to buy some of your time back on Freestyle Friday. I know we also have Ernetta Caldwell who's going to come on. She's the Reinvent Yourself specialist, and she's going to be sharing some tips on how to reinvent yourself, especially after you've experienced any kind of divorce. So Freestyle Friday is going to be off the chain, and you want to be in your virtual seats for that. So we'll see you then with more from Timeless Thomas and learn even more about what that means anyway when he comes back as our Freestyle Friday expert. Get the book. What's the name of the book? Somebody type it in the comment section.
101 things you should know about jail. And if you're in Philly, go to Black and Nobel on 422 South Street or blackandnobel.com. And if you're in Wilmington, go to Walt's Chicken. Get you some chicken from Walt's Chicken. And the book will be there too. So, yeah. Right. Kim, thank you so much. Thank you to your staff. Thank you to all those great people who invested in themselves just by tuning in, just by not being afraid to learn and know the next best thing. Me and you are the next best thing. We're the now. We're happening now. We're happening now.
You make me feel so great over here.
Our mentors are looking at us, Kim, like, look at them two there. They're happy. They're like, you're showing me your dental work. They're happy. They're showing their dental. They're somewhere smiling. Yeah. Our mentors are loving all this. I can feel the energy.
I know that. I know. As long as I got Gabe and my grandma, my great grandma, and my daddy, everybody smiling from heaven, I know I'm being celebrated by them, and I'm grateful to God. Grateful to God. Yes. Listen, I have to put this quick picture up because backstage from maternity leave is Mackenzie, and her husband Trent and their son Remy welcomed Laura Lee Rose.
Oh, little beautiful little baby.
Look at her already.
Oh, beautiful little baby.
So Laura Lee is here and adorable and home safely with mommy and daddy and baby brother. And I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you, Mackenzie, backstage and congratulate your family. All right, everybody. This is today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Daron, I couldn't have even imagined a better experience. So thank you so much for making this happen today.
Thank you so much as well. And you have a blessed rest of your day.
All right. Thank you in the virtual studio audience. I love you guys. I see all kind of comments coming in, but he'll go back and even possibly address some of them in the different platforms. Excellent show.
Can you tag this to my page, Kim?
I'll tag you on a lot of these comments. Excellent show.
No, I mean, can you tag the whole show to my page?
I'll tag you. Okay, Mackenzie, go ahead and send us away. I love you all, everybody that's tuned in, and love everybody around the world. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual